Evening, everyone. It's 6:11 on Monday, the 21st, and this is your closing comment video number 1549. Okay, so as I mentioned in the letter yesterday, there are no economic calendar news today or tomorrow. All of it is pushed to Wednesday, so Wednesday will be a busy day. Also, before the open tomorrow, we have earnings on Baidu, Best Buy, Medtronic, Dollar Tree, Dick's, and Warner Music. So, should be a bunch of stuff there. As far as today goes, we really didn't do much, and it shows in the volume because the volume was only 3.9 billion and it's been trading over 5 billion, so that's a pretty hefty decline. Also, we were market internals were just about even to slightly lower, 8 to 7 lower on the NYSE, 3 to 2 lower on the Nasdaq was the big loser today, down 121.55 or 1.09%. The Dow was down 45, Nasdaq, as I said, S&P down 15 or 0.4%. The Russell was down 10.5. That's a 0.5%. And the transports were actually up 40.69, which is kind of a surprise because the truckers narrowly rejected their pay package, and we could be looking at a strike here. Also, with all of these down, the VIX was also down, not much, 22.36, down 76 or 3.3%. But that makes me think that we may not get as much of a year-end rally, certainly this week and next, maybe more into December. Let's see. Chart on the screen is the dollar. And as I mentioned in the letter, and I mentioned this morning in the pre-opening comment, this looks like it's moving back to the upside here. All the moving averages have rolled to the downside, with the exception of the 200-day, which is, in close proximity to where we were last Tuesday, down at 105.15 and bounced up. And we've gone from 105.15 to 107 and 3/4. That's pretty hefty. I think we may start to see some resistance in here. If we don't, and the dollar breaks out again, I think it'll be very negative for stocks. I want to show you the oil chart because that was really a feature today. And it started to the downside and was down hard. It was only slightly lower in this morning's video, but as you can see, let's give you a little bit more of a look so that you can see where we are. We got down, this entire line is a weekly line, but today's only Monday, so it's the Monday line too. We got down to 75.27, and it was all about the fact that there was speculation and a couple of claims that OPEC Plus was going to add production. That took it down to 75. We closed the week last week at 80.11. We closed today at 80.04, and we're up a little bit. Futures evening session just started. We actually closed here at 80.04, and that was down 7 cents after being down here at 75. Now, you can see that this 75 area was one of pretty good support. It was also the place where we broke out for that massive run from a low of in the neighborhood of 74 all the way up to 130 lower top. I've mentioned we have a series of lower highs, lower lows, but as we got down here on the on the daily and on the weekly, we turned back up when the Saudis came out and said, "We're not doing that. It's a rumor, not factual," and they took the oil straight back up. So pretty impressive turn there. Gold was down about 14 dollars. Silver was down about 14 cents. And as you can see, the gold is basically unchanged, as is the silver tonight. Copper, the same thing. Excuse me, Bitcoin got down to a recent low, 15,340, closed 15,690, down 840. Um, Bonds were basically unchanged. The feature in the energies, the only one that was really strongly higher was nat gas, and it was up over a half a dollar. Let's go back to a daily so you can see just how extreme this actually was. I mean, we came off this rolling to the upside. Five crosses the 20 day, and they're both headed up to this orange line, which is the 50 day. And we're right under the 200 day, which is kind of rolling over just a little. But, we have this series of higher lows, and we also have this pretty major double bottom going back to July. So that's where we were. Everybody, I'm sure, by now knows the story of Disney. Bob Iger coming back. The stock was up to 101, closed 97.58, and that was up 578 or 6.3%. Tesla was down. Initially, it was down just slightly on a recall for a really, 312,000 or 321,000 cars being recalled for a taillight problem. Not a big deal. Apple was down 3.25 on news that there were going to be delays because of closures in China, especially for Foxconn. After the close, we had earnings from Dell, which was a miss on revenues, a beat on earnings, but poor guidance. The stock had closed 41.07, down 97 cents. On the news of the beat on earnings, the stock rocketed up to 44.71, and then turning around and moved back down to 39.90 on that poor guidance. Currently, it's 40.32, down $1.72, or about 4%. So, interesting. Zoom beat top line, beat bottom line. Again, poor guidance. The stock had closed at 80.26, down $1.38, moved all the way up on the headline to 86.01, and then it too turned south and traded down to 74.73. The last is about 75, down 6.64 or 8.1%. So up 2% to down 8%. Pretty hefty move. As far as sectors go, even though the oil turned around, energy was down, infrastructure down, um, work from home down, and all of the meme stocks were down. On the upside, we had defense, food supply chain, and financials. That's about all I can tell you. As I said, we have all those earnings tomorrow, but no financial stuff. So I'll be back first thing in the morning. Have a good evening.